What's in there?
Just marinara cream, a little bit of garlic, pepper.
That was delicious.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Look, I promise this isn't becoming a game review channel or anything. I just talk about stuff that I like here. With that being said, I played a game called Celeste recently, and I liked it, so I'm going to talk about it. This is a game where you play as a girl named Madeline that goes on a quest to climb to the top of a mountain. And that's about it. The story is super simple without really any heavy stuff going on. Oh, and throughout the journey, the mountain also summons a demon that's a living embodiment of Madeline's fear, self-doubt, and hatred that she has to fight with while battling her anxiety and depression. But aside from that, the story is pretty lighthearted. Now, I want to make it very clear, the reason I love this game has very little to do with the story and everything to do with the gameplay. Now, the story isn't bad at all, by any means. It's actually really good. I think it handles its themes very nicely, and it serves as a nice breather from all the hectic action that the game throws at you. It didn't emotionally invest me as much compared to other games I've played, but honestly, it still does its job well in giving the characters enough depth and personality to get me to care about them. So I'd say it succeeds in that department. Throughout the game, you'll encounter a few characters that will either support or challenge Madeline on her quest. And one of those characters is Theo, who I did love a lot. He's very funny and entertaining. I do really appreciate the little moments that he and Madeline have throughout the game because they're really sweet. My favorite scene in the game is probably when Madeline talks to Theo about her personal struggles with depression and anxiety. It's always so nice to see this topic portrayed well in media, and I think it handles it very respectfully. It's taken seriously and it's not treated like a joke, which is more than I could say for a lot of TV shows. But even putting that aside, seeing Madeline just express herself to both Theo and the player in a way that makes her actions and motivations clearer, while also throwing in some fun, comforting dialogue, is a really well done scene. The game just does a great job in breaking up the action and giving the player a chance to just spend some meaningful time with the characters. And I'm talking about all this because I know there's a lot of people that will hold more value to the story of the game than I did, and it's certainly worth glazing, but as I said, the gameplay is really the thing that drew me into getting Celeste. So let's talk about that. I'm just going to start off with the most memorable thing about the gameplay, and that is its difficulty. If you've never played Celeste or seen a lot of footage of it, then let me tell you, this is not an easy game. It's very, very challenging. I can say with strong confidence that you're going to die. A lot. Over and over and over and over and over again. I got hundreds of deaths during my playthrough of this game, and that's coming from someone who's played a lot of difficult platformers like Hollow Knight, Cuphead, and a bunch of others. So it's not like I'm new to games or anything. Now some of you might hear this and think, oh well, I'm not looking for a rage game right now, never mind. And that's fair if you think that, but I will say that even though Celeste is very difficult, it's never unfair at all. It delivers a great challenge that's entirely reliant on the player's skill without any bullshit RNG getting in the way. And the movement is also super fluid and the controls are very precise without any noticeable issues. So don't be afraid of this game just because it's difficult, because it's actually much more forgiving than you might think. First of all, there's no one-up system, meaning you're allowed to fail as much as you want without any serious penalties, which is nice. The game also gives you a very generous number of checkpoints. Pretty much every time you turn around, you're getting another checkpoint, so you won't have to worry about losing your progress at all throughout the game. On top of that, the game also respawns you instantly without hardly any delay, which is very nice, because in a game where you're respawning a lot, you definitely don't want to have to wait several seconds each time. So I'll reward points for that as well. Overall, the gameplay is very addicting and enjoyable. It really never got old to me at all. It was consistently entertaining the entire time thanks to its fast-paced nature and unique environments. The game is broken up into chapters that each have their own mechanics and scenery that keep the gameplay exciting and refreshing without being repetitive at all. Really, the only complaint I can think of in relation to the gameplay is that I wish I gave the player more new abilities early on. Throughout the entire game, you pretty much have the same moveset until the final chapter, where the game gives you a double dash ability, which is really fun to use, but it comes in so late in the game that you don't really get a chance to use it as much as I would have liked. I know plot-wise it makes sense why it would come into play at this point in the story, but still, I think giving a player more abilities to use is a great gameplay feature, so I just wish we got more of that in this game. Anyway, back to the positives. The music in this game is absolutely amazing. It's honestly one of the best soundtracks I've heard in a little while now. There are so many catchy tunes that really give you something to bop your head to while you play. I think honestly the music is half the reason why the game is so addicting, because it really just puts you in the zone while you're playing through some of these levels, and it's awesome. Overall, Celeste is an absolutely fantastic game, and it's a must-get for anyone that's into 2D platformers. So go buy it. You won't regret it. And subscribe, please. Thanks. Okay, bye.